In his farewell address in 1796, President George Washington stressed the importance of institutions that share the bodies of knowledge they collect. He said, "Promote then, as an object of primary importance, the institutions for the general diffusion of knowledge. In proportion as the structure of a government gives force to public opinion, it is essential that public opinion should be enlightened." I'm Ellsworth Brown, the Ruth and Hartley Barker Director of the Wisconsin Historical Society, and George Washington's words resonate here because we protect, preserve, and, as Washington said, diffuse history not only throughout Wisconsin, but worldwide every day, digitally, at our 12 historic sites and museums, through our vast library and archives collections, in our archaeological and historic preservation work, by our wide range of publications, and through the programs across Wisconsin. Thank you, George Washington, and happy birthday from all of us at the Wisconsin Historical Society.
Future Revolutionary War General and U.S. President George Washington wrote in 1771 about the importance of literature to his stepson's tutor, John Bowker, stressing that, "I conceive a knowledge of books is the basis upon which other knowledge is to be built." I'm reference librarian Keith Rabiola. George Washington's words helped to inspire the people of Wisconsin to create and sustain the Wisconsin Historical Library stacks, which now hold nearly 500,000 volumes, more than 1,000 of those books on the subject of George Washington. These millions of pages contain the knowledge upon which we build our future and our history. Thank you, George Washington, and happy birthday from the Wisconsin Historical Society.
In 1790, George Washington wrote to his nephew, George Steptoe Washington, about his fashion choices. "As to your clothing, it will, I presume, cost much the same here as in Alexandria. I shall always wish to see you clothed decently and becoming your stations, but I shall ever discountenance extravagance or foppishness in your dress." I'm Leslie Belay, curator of social history, and George Washington's words resonate here at the Wisconsin Historical Society because we collect Wisconsin clothing, and Wisconsinites would never countenance extravagance or foppishness in their dress, and in fact are known for their casual and informal take on clothing. So I'd like to say thank you, George Washington, and happy birthday from the Wisconsin Historical Society.
In 1787, George Washington wrote the following to his mother, Mary Ball Washington, about his beloved home, Mount Vernon. "It may be compared to a well-resorted tavern, as scarcely any strangers who are going from north to south or from south to north do not spend a day or two at it." I'm State Historic Preservation Officer Jim Drager and author of Bottoms Up, a toast to Wisconsin's historic bars and breweries. George Washington's words resonate here at the Wisconsin Historical Society because our historic preservation staff spend our days helping Wisconsinites restore and celebrate the history of their beloved historic homes, businesses, factories, and even taverns. The restoration of Mount Vernon by Mount Vernon Ladies Association in the 1850s was America's first historic preservation project and the birth of a national movement to protect and restore our heritage, inspiring thousands of restorations throughout Wisconsin. Thank you, George Washington, and happy birthday from the Wisconsin Historical Society.
In 1784, George Washington wrote the following to grammar school headmaster George Chapman. Quote, "The best means of forming a manly, virtuous, and happy people will be found in the right education of youth. Without this foundation, even other means, in my opinion, will fail." End of quote. Of course, we know that the word manly is slightly out of touch now, but the right education of youth has been and remains essential. I am Vance Ashby, Director of Education, and George Washington's words resonate here at the Wisconsin Historical Society, because my staff and I spend our days working with schools, public and private, to connect children of all ages to the past through our publications, outreach programs, historical sites, National History Day, events, and more. Thank you, George Washington, and happy birthday from the Wisconsin Historical Society.
In 1785, George Washington wrote to his nephew, Burwell Bassett, about weddings. Quote, "I have always considered marriage as the most interesting event of one's life, the foundation of happiness or misery. I'm Lori Bessler, and as a reference librarian and genealogist, George Washington's words resonate here at the Wisconsin Historical Society because we spend our days searching our records for the documentation of life's most interesting events. Weddings, yes, as well as births, deaths, land purchases, and more, often to help people around the world rebuild their family tree. Thank you, George Washington, and a happy birthday from the Wisconsin Historical Society.
In 1788, George Washington wrote the following to American Museum magazine editor Matthew Carey. For myself, I entertain a high idea of the utility of periodical publications. He continued, I consider such easy vehicles of knowledge more happily calculated than any other to preserve the liberty, stimulate the industry, and ameliorate the morals of an enlightened and free people. I'm Ron Larson, Serial's Resources Librarian. George Washington's words resonate here at the Wisconsin Historical Society because my staff and I spend our days curating one of the largest collections of periodical publications in the country. I cannot tell a lie. It has been said that our collection of newspapers is surpassed only by the Library of Congress. Our impressive collection includes newspapers that are older than George Washington. Thank you, George Washington, and happy birthday from the Wisconsin Historical Society.